This video is going to be about formatting headers and footers in a document with multiple sections. So notice this header and this footer, and here's a section break. And now we have a different header and a different footer. And then we have another section, and this has the headers and footers copied into it in case we need to copy and paste them if we mess up the headers and footers. So when you click in the header, it opens the header and footer tab on the ribbon. We can see that this section has a different first page, which is here, and it is not linked to the previous. Of course, there is no previous. If I take away different first page, it displays what was on the second page. If I click different first page, it goes back to having a separate first page. If I go to this section and I say different first page, it really does the same thing. We're just controlling this section. It doesn't matter which page you're on and you click different first page. So when we get here, we're in a new section. This is not linked to previous and it has a different first page. So if I unselect that, I can see what the header and footer is in this section. In different page, I could type something different. In this case, I just deleted it because I don't want a header and footer in this section. So now the thing is that we have page numbers. So this is page 2 of 3 of the first section. Page 3 of 3. This is page 1 of the second section. This is page 2 of the second section. But that's not what this says. So the first thing is we can format what the page numbers, the page count is. So I'm going to select the page count, right click it, and say edit field. Instead of number of pages, I'm going to change this to section pages. Okay, so now it's telling us that there are 3 pages in this section, but we're starting on page 5. So if I click that and I choose format page numbers, I could say start at page 1 for this section. So now this is page 2 of that section. It doesn't matter that the header, it has a different first page. It's just counting the pages of the section. We get to the next section, no footer. Let's say we want this section to count the total number of pages in the entire document. We could go back to edit field and go to num pages. So now this is page 7 of the entire document. And then when I say format page numbers, we're not continuing from the previous section. So we'd want to select that. So now this is page 5 of 7. So let's see. This is page 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right here. And now it's 5 of 7. Since this is an attachment and it's a separate document and it has a separate file name, there's the file name for this document. That's different than this document. Really, this should be counting its page numbers for the section. So I'm going to say edit field, Go to section pages, and I'm going to start this at page 1 for that section, which looks like that. Okay, now you'll notice by default it says link to previous. We don't really want that. We want this to be separate. So I'm going to unclick link to previous. That still looks good. Now, one of the tricks about this is if you link a section to the previous section, what it really does is copy the header or the footer from the previous section into the current section. Unfortunately, that means that you're going to lose your information. It's going to delete this and replace it. So if I click link to previous, it's going to ask me, do you want to delete this header and footer and connect the header and footer to the previous section? If I say yes, what it really did is just copied the previous section in here, right? If I unclick link to previous, it doesn't go back. Now I can fix that by having a copy of what the previous footer was. Now if I go in here, select this, paste that, right? It's not linked to previous, not linked to previous, not linked to previous. Now it's back. So that's how you get your footer back. So you might want to be working on a copy of the document, not just editing the original document when you're formatting the headers and the footers.